Appreciate it. Yeah. First and foremost, thank you to Coach V. Thank you to each and every one of you. I won't hold this long because I know y'all got a lot going on and y'all want to get to it. But I just wanted to come and just share just a brief message with y'all. Really based around the topic of love. Love is the strongest force ever, y'all. And it's something that we don't embrace enough, especially as young men. I didn't understand that growing up. I do see you. I do hear you. And one other thing is, I love you. And I mean that. How often do you hear that? Be honest with me. Anybody? Not a lot, right? That's a problem. That's something that we have to change. It's crazy because love is something that we all want. Power in that. I understand what that does, right? I understand how love can change your life, how it changed my life, literally. We all desire love. It's the strongest force in the world. It's the strongest thing in the world. When somebody tell you I love you, they look you in your eyes and they mean that. And I want to really bring that love to y'all because the reality is love can make you do supernatural things. Y'all a team. Imagine if you love him like a brother. You'll go to war for him. 2 years ago, me and my fiance, we down in DC for a mental health conference. And there's nothing but black professionals there, right? This conference is for black professionals to come together to gather ideas on how to eradicate the stigmas around mental health in our communities, in our homes, our households, right? I get there, the first session that I go to, a guy named Dr. Michael Lindsay, I'll never forget him. He's a professor at NYU. First thing he says is, love black men and children as if they've never been hated. I said, what? He said, love black men and children as if they've never been hated. Man, I felt that in my soul. From there, I was inspired to do something. I knew I had to do something and come back. I knew I had to go back to my community and offer something. God blessed me with the gift in literature, so I started writing a book titled, I Love You. If you pick up the book and it says, I love you, who's the first one to say it to you? Yourself. When was the last time you stood in the mirror and told yourself that you love yourself? Never. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. I'm serious, that's crazy. The year before, I had the vision to write a book to affirm us, to let us know that, look, I see you. I know who you are. You're a king. I know you're powerful. Society's gonna say this about you, but I'm gonna say this about you. I'm gonna let you know who you are at your essence. My parents were teenagers when they had me. I was the first one to get a scholarship to go to school to play ball. Went to school, left after the first semester because upstairs I wasn't right. Mentally, I wasn't right. My entire life, I grew up bottling my emotions, not knowing what to do because nobody sat me down like, yo, bro, you can get that out. Like, we can talk about it. There's trauma in that. I know what it's like on the other side. I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to have anxiety. I know what it's like to have suicidal ideations. I know what it's like to be food insecure, to not know, hey, when we get our next meal. My dream to play basketball taken away from me with an injury. It was my identity. It was who I was. I was basketball. Not realizing that that was just something that I do. It's not who I am. Lost everything, started having suicidal ideations. I contemplated suicide myself. I had suicidal ideations. When my basketball dream came to an end and I had to wear a boot, bro, I had suicidal ideations, but I was blessed to have people in my corner. My best friend, he's in my wedding this year, my boy Tony Chapman. He's in the Air Force. He started taking me to the gym. I had a boot on. Mind you, I'm like, bro, I'm good. My man took me to the gym, put me around other people that look like me, other men. And they started to speak life into me. That's the power of having this team right here. That's the power of having these individuals. Even when you brush them off, they speaking life into you. We used to sit in the locker room, literally, y'all, the locker room, 45 minutes to an hour before we would work out. We wasn't talking about sex. We wasn't talking about sports. Rarely we talked about sports. The whole time we were talking about life transparency, the things we were struggling with, the things we needed help with. Man, that opened a whole new just window of healing for me. Safety, emotional wellness. I understand. Throughout all those different situations, when I went to all them different schools and I was having those breakdowns, before I started going to therapy, before I started being vulnerable, before I started talking to my dad and having real conversations about what was going on, My emotional wellness was all over the place. Now it's intact. I understand that before I was making decisions based off of my emotions. I'm sure that's many of you too. You feel some type of way and you make a decision and you're like, shoot, I probably shouldn't have did that. And this is the importance of having friends. And I'm not saying just random people. Friends are sacred. Friends are family. Everybody's not your friend. Because somebody follow you, they're not your friend. Friends are really there for you. Talking about life, growth, transparency. That's where I learned to be vulnerable at in the locker room of a gym, around other men that look like me. And that changed my life. And that put me on my journey to where I'm at now. There's purpose behind that, y'all. When you focus on self, safety, for me, I believe in God. That's my safety right there, my rock, my fortress. Keeps me out of dangerous situations. I grew up in so many different situations where it's like, yo, this could have went left. This is me, this is the man with the gun right here next to me. Shooting somebody else, that could have been me. So many situations, people running up in houses, all that. That could have been me. But I know what my safety is now. I'm more self-aware. My emotional wellness is so much better. I got my therapist. I ain't afraid to say it. I think we all should have one. I think it's a real thing. I have my therapist. I have my group that I talk to. I have my practices put in place. My meditation, my reading of the word, whatever it is, working out. Because I knew, and I learned this looking backwards, that I was making a lot of decisions with my emotions. When I left school the first time, I should have went and sought help. I was making emotional decisions, just throwing scholarships out the window. Full ride scholarships too. Like I ain't got paid for nothing. Because emotionally I wasn't right. And I understand how important my emotional wellness is now. Don't make decisions from your emotions. They're bad drivers, literally they're bad drivers. You'll crash every single time. And then you'll have regrets, and you don't want to live with regrets. Society, and this pains me to say this, you're seen as a problem before you're seen as a person, as young men. So when things come your way, when challenges come your way, know who you are. Identify with that king status. You're not a problem at all. You may have had some trouble, you had some difficulties, you got to learn some lessons, but ultimately you're a king. It's love all around you, man. You just have to start loving yourself. Get in the mirror tonight. Get in the mirror tonight. Look at yourself in the mirror. I'm not joking. Do this for real. It works. Say, I love you until you really feel it and you mean it. You might even start crying. Keep it 100. You might even start crying. Your existence is an answer to somebody's prayer. And that's real talk. That's how I know each and every one of you have a purpose, because your existence is the answer to somebody's prayer. Your existence is the answer to somebody's prayer. My existence is an answer to somebody's prayer. And realize this too. Your lack of commitment is disrespectful to everybody that believes in you. I'm not saying this to take jabs at you, take shots at you, anything like that. But if they're coming out here giving you their time, their energy, things they can't get back, I know they got families they want to get to. They're giving you their time and their energy, give that back. Because your lack of commitment is disrespectful to them. So respect them. Show up for them. Show up for yourself. But please do this, because this changed my life. A friend shared this with me and it changed my life. I started crying tears, bro. He said, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you until you mean it. Don't say it and walk away. Say it until you mean it. Tell yourself that you love yourself. How many times do you really even do that? If ever. Never. Do it tonight. I challenge you to do that tonight. Look yourself in the mirror and say it until you mean it. And you might just shed tears. But then you'll know deep down inside that you love yourself. And when you do that, you can love on other people and you can love on your teammates. And y'all can love on each other and go out there and do your thing. And I just wish the best of luck to y'all in your future endeavors, man. And y'all just got a bright future. Just bright, man. And I'm not saying that to be some type of motivator or anything. I can feel energy and I can sense energy. I've been in a lot of different rooms with a lot of different people speaking. And I can sense something special about each and every one of y'all, especially when I look you in your eyes.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I love y'all on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Love y'all.
Yeah, let's go.